next guest starred in The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. Now you can see her off-Broadway in The Shape of Things at the Promenade Theater. Please welcome Rachel Weisz. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This is beautiful. I like this.
Thank you.
It's very, is that from China or something?
I think it's influenced by China. It's from New York.
Ah,
yeah.
I can see it. Yeah, one of those things, yeah. You, of course, are from, where are you from exactly? You're from...
London, England.
So you're born and raised in London?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
I wasn't sure where exactly in England you were from.
London, North London.
North London,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Everything I know about London I learned from Mary Poppins, sadly. I think everyone's like, hello, governor, you know. It's like,
some people, there are a few.
There are a few chimney sweeps left that talk that way.
Yeah.
And your mother, I read, this is interesting, as you were growing, your mother's still, she's a psychotherapist.
She is, yeah.
And when you were growing up, she practiced in the house. Is that right? She had her office in the house. I would think that would be kind of strange.
Well, my sister and me, we used to kind of creep around the house and just pretend we were, you know, off somewhere, you know, to the kitchen to get some milk or something. But really, we were trying to have a listen outside the door to the patients.
Which is highly immoral.
It's very immoral.
But fun.
And the thing is, actually, as a child, most of the things that the grown-ups were talking about wasn't very interesting. So we used to just, like, listen there for ages and get kind of quite bored and then go back to our rooms. But there was one time when I must have been about 11 or 12, and my mum and me had a big fight before the patient had arrived. And I completely lost my temper, and she was in the middle of a session, and I stormed into the room, and I looked at this guy who was lying on the couch, and I just looked at my mum and pointed and went, she's the one who needs therapy.
I love that poor guy is sitting there. I think I might be gay, and
Can you imagine? It's a terrible thing to do.
Yeah. Well, do you get along with your mom now?
We do. We get along absolutely fine. In fact, she thinks that she always says if she hadn't been a psychotherapist, she would have been a taxi driver. She loves driving. And this is the only time that I don't get along with my mum is if I'm in a car with her, because she's so dangerous.
She's a terrible driver?
Beyond terrible. I don't know how she's alive, to be honest with you.
Right.
She shouldn't be allowed on the roads. And you know, whenever she offers any, she says she loves drive. She says, can I chauffeur you there? And everyone goes, oh God, I really think I'm going to take the bus. I suddenly feel like a really long walk. No one wants to get in the car with her.
Because she's famous, I guess.
She's famous around. She lives in Cambridge. She goes around town for being very, very dangerous. And the other day she said, Rachel, she said, I'm going to prove to you that I'm a good driver. And I said, yeah, okay. She said the other day, she said, I was driving into town, and she said, as I was driving along, there were people along the street who were kind of waving and shouting and going, you know, and pointing. She said, oh, no, bugger them. They're probably, like, waving because I've got my safety belt on. She's eccentric.
Right.
And more and more people were waving and pointing and waving and shouting. She said, what's the matter with all these people? And she stopped at the traffic lights, and she heard a meow. She got out of the car, and her cat was on the roof, like this, holding on.
Just hanging on.
Just hanging on for dear life. Yeah. And I said, yeah. And I said, but Mum, why are you telling me this story? She said, the cat didn't fall off. I'm a great driver. And I'm like, okay.
Which is like a big part of the London driving test.
Yeah.
We're placing a cat on your roof. Yeah. You drive around North London. You can keep that cat. And,
exactly.
I guess this is an interesting family because your dad is an inventor, is that right?
My dad is an inventor,
He invented something pretty famous, didn't he?
He did, yeah. It's an artificial respirator which is used in accidents, emergencies, basically to resuscitate people back to life. So he saves lives.
Good for him, that's great.
He's a great guy.
Was he always inventing stuff when you... Because when I was a kid, I loved the idea of inventors and...
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Chitty Chitty... My other second favorite movie is, like, it's Mary Poppins, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. But I always wanted a dad who could go in and, like, put wings on our Pontiac, you know? And then fly us over the countryside. Oh. You all right, Dad? Cheerio, you know? And never happened.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Sorry.
my dad didn't invent... He would do stuff like he would take apart the washing machine when it was broken. And actually, washing machines are very, you know, need specialised knowledge, which he does not have.
Right.
So we'd come home from school and he'd be lying on the floor with like 300 parts around him, covered in oil, and he'd just pick up this sort of ugly steel thing from the floor and say, isn't it beautiful? You know? But then the next thing my mum would have to call the, you know, washing machine repair
and have him
guy.
put the whole thing back together again. Yeah, well, it sounds like he's great at taking things apart, but then the second part, that's crucial.
It is.
He's got to learn that part.
Yeah.
The play, The Shape of Things, is, this is going quite well. You
Yes.
like it?
Yes.
You're enjoying it? You're playing an American.
I am.
And how do you get in the mood before you go out and do the show? Is there anything, you have any special tricks that just gets the whole cast sort of up and ready to go?
We all always listen to Tenacious D, so I couldn't believe Jack Black was on your show.
You just had him
twice.
on the other day.
I know.
Hilarious.
We listen to Tenacious D, it gets us in the mood. And also, this is maybe embarrassing, but Boston.
You listen to the group Boston.
We listen to the group Boston because we're playing like American collegiate kids, so it kind of gets us in the all that I'm feeling, you know.
Did you say all that I'm feeling?
Yeah,
it's more than a feeling.
No, I got the words wrong. Damn, really? Oh.
You say you listen to Boston.
Oh, God.
It's not really important that you know the words to that one. Just those those kind of 70s drum fills. The Shape of Things is now playing at the Promenade Theater right here in New York City. And if you get there early, you can hear More Than a Feeling playing backstage.
Yeah.
Hey, Rachel, thank you so much for coming. It's always great to have you. Rachel Weisz, everyone. We'll take a break. When we come back, John Mayer is here.